What it do, y'all? It's your boy Fwea-Go checking in with another episode. Today's episode is sponsored by Stay True. Whatever it is that you do, just make sure you stay true. You heard? I'll go ahead and provide y'all with a link as to where y'all can go ahead and cop that merch. But today's episode is regarding how to chop up audio files, or what Logic likes to call trim. So let me just make sure we here. Yo. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. As y'all know, I am a remixer. So chopping up audio files is one of the main, you feel me, one of the main tools or, workflows I tend to use pretty often. So let's go ahead, find us a nice little loop. Let's work with, let's say hip hop. Let's see what hip hop got for us. It's all right. Really feeling these. All right, let's just say we took this, right? Let's go ahead and drag that on there. Um, so this is the sound that we have, right? Again, you can see our BPM currently is 75. So let's say I wanted the first half, right? It's different ways to go ahead and chop. I like to use the shortcut Command T or Command Trim, if that helps you remember what that does. And literally, it's that simple. It's literally that simple. So if you want to make multiple chops, Command T, Command T. Literally, just highlight over the region you want. Just make sure the region you want is highlighted so it does chop it up. Because as you can see right here, this region is highlighted, but let's say I intended to chop up this region right here. I'll go ahead and hit Command T. It's not going to do nothing because your files are going to split at the playhead, but the region must be highlighted at that for the playhead to split the track. I think that does make sense. So again, like if you wanted to chop this right here, but your playhead is over here, this won't chop. But again, we want to go ahead and chop this region right here. So again, we make sure our playhead is where we want to chop it at. You can go ahead and use your tool. So you have your left click tool and your right click tool with Logic. I generally like to keep my left click tool as like the actual, left click. And I tend to change my right click tool, or my command click tool, I should say. I'm sorry, calling that right click. The command click tool. So if you hold command and click, it will it will go ahead and operate as one of these as far as like whichever one is checked at the moment. So currently I have a marquee tool checked. I'll go into the marquee tool a little later, but at the moment we're looking for our scissors tool so we can go ahead and cut the region. So using the scissor tool, I can cut again. It's our command click tool. So holding the command, I can literally hover over wherever it is on the region I want to chop and just go ahead and snip it. So that's another way you can go ahead and chop your regions up. I generally don't do it that way. Again, like it's all about workflow. So whatever works for you, by all means, like Feel me? Go ahead and do that. But me personally, I generally just hover like in the middle of the region that I actually want to chop up, or it ain't even got to be in the middle. It could be this part right here, and I just, you feel me, chop that. And so, you feel me, we have different sections we can move around. We can like literally like rearrange the whole loop to, you know, personalize it. If we want to go ahead and move this over, let's say we want to space in between these. So, you feel me? You feel me? Let's say that's what we wanted. Um, that's that. So initially, let me go ahead, drag this down, and you know, open that back up. So this was our original loop. All right, but you know, after chopping up a couple tracks, let's again, let me unsolo that. Oops. So again, using Command T, I'll go ahead, chop up this part right here. Let's say I want to move this right here. Let's say I want to move the beginning back a little bit, and let's say I actually overlap this right here. I think that was the beginning, if I'm not mistaken, but we'll see. Let me just, can't extend that. Thought that was extendable. Let me move this over here. Let's move this right here, and let's add a little gap. Let's put that right there. So again, we went from this to now, after chopping up the regions and moving it around, we now have this. So let me actually like make a better loop. Okay, so I see this got to be on relative. All right, I'm gonna go into absolutes and relatives in another video, but this is our current loop. All right, so again, we went from the original to our chop loop. All right. And again, like you maneuver the loop as to, you feel me, however it sounds best to you. I probably would chop it up differently. This was more just for, you know, the video's example. But yeah, like me personally, I'd probably go ahead and, you know, add a couple different effects on there. So, you know, I might go ahead and, you know, add some reverb. Delay. Where's my reverbs? I might add a Space Designer reverb. I'm gonna leave it as is, just for the sake of time of the video. So we got our reverb up. I already turned up the send, and let's go ahead and add another effect. Let me add, let's see, what effect should we add? Let's add, let's add a chorus effect. Let's just see what it sounds like. And again, when it comes to this is all experimentation and just finding like what sounds good to you. So. All right, let's say I add a delay on top of that. Turn up the send for the track, and let me add a tape delay. I generally go with the tape delay over the other ones. I don't know, personal preference. So let's change our delay to an 1/8 delay. down some of the region so you could hear more of the delay. Versus if I didn't have it on. That actually don't sound too bad, because if I go ahead and add a beat behind that, why not? Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Let's just move on a step. um, so generally, I like to kind of like, make my own beat patterns with my sample packs. So generally, I'll find like a kick I like. I'll find, different perk loops or perk sounds, and just like lay out a pattern that sounds good to me. So shout out to my boy Trey 05. Let's go ahead and find a kick. I think 36 is usually one of those that I like. So again, let's say I drag this sample on here. Let's say I didn't want this whole audio tail. So instead of dragging it, what I could do as well is just chop it to where I didn't want the rest and just literally delete it just like that. And yeah, so at that point I can literally just make my pattern. So yeah, it's as easy as that. As far as the beat pattern, that's what I call a SoFlo juk beat pattern. Um, yeah, I do it so much; it's almost like second nature. That's why it kind of came out the way it came out. But yeah, you can literally take any Apple loop, chop it up, maneuver it how you want, add a couple different effects, and then literally just lay a beat around it. And all right. So again, I do want to say thank y'all for tuning in to this episode. Again, this episode was sponsored by Stay True. Whatever it is that you do, just make sure you stay true. And yeah, y'all keep rocking with me, man. These videos gonna keep coming. If y'all do have any questions on anything I did that you wanna, more in-depth explanation on, please go ahead, leave a comment. Make sure y'all subscribe for future videos. If y'all do have any questions on anything regarding, music production, literally just don't hesitate. Like, just leave a comment and I'll get to it as soon as possible. But again, appreciate y'all for tuning in to this episode of Fwea-Go Logic. Keep making that music, man. Keep being great. Let's get it.